Welcome, brave souls, to the Halloween special of Strange Darkness Radio. I'm Blackthorn, your guide through this night of terror and intrigue. As the veil between worlds thins, we'll explore the darkest corners of your imagination and confront the monsters that lurk in the shadows. Joining me are your regular hosts, Bobby Washington, Carolyn Gray, and Amy Tiedemann. Together, we'll plunge into the abyss of your deepest fears. Steel your nerves, dear listeners. Tonight, we dance with darkness itself. Let the nightmare begin on this hallowed eve.
All right, it is time for the Halloween segment of Creepy Stories. So, in this particular segment, I'm going to cover one of my favorite stories to cover, Black-Eyed Kids. For some reason, these stories truly creep me out, but I have a personal story that I have told on the show for our early listeners from years back. So I want to retell this story because, one, it was so creepy, and like Amy was saying on the other segment about me doing something that I didn't want to do because I was challenged, or my manhood was challenged, which it kind of goes into this Black-Eyed Kid story, at least for me, to where I was like, okay, this is too freaky and I'm out of here type deal. And for those of you who've heard this story, I'm going to tell it again. But before I get into that, I'm going to tell you the origination of most people's beliefs on how the Black-Eyed Kids came to be. So the Black-Eyed Kids came to be by a reporter in Texas. His name is Brian Bethel. He encountered two Black-Eyed Kids. It was in 1996. He was in a parking lot, and he was parked. I think he was paying a bill, writing a check for something. And so he was in the vehicle writing a check, and two boys approached his car. When they approached, Brian had felt this overwhelming sense of dread, and then he looked up and he noticed the two boys. But when he did, he looked closer. They had like totally blacked out eyes, like their scleras, everything, no white whatsoever. Their eyes were just totally blacked out. And usually you'll hear about Black-Eyed Kid stories about the kids wearing hoodies, meaning you cannot see their face until they either allow themselves to be seen or turn towards you for whatever reason. So it's really hard to tell, that they're Black-Eyed Kids. But the thing that you're going to hear, they're going to ask you, can they come in? Whether it's your vehicle, whether it's your home, they're going to ask permission, kind of like vampires. For some weird, odd reason, they have to be allowed in. And there have been couples and people who've allowed these entities or kids or demons or aliens. Nobody truly knows what they are. Again, nobody truly knows if these stories are real or fake, as far as is it just a total urban legend or did these truly happen. But there was an older couple who ended up letting these two kids in, and they said, hey, we need to use your phone. Can we call our parents? And then the older lady was like, the husband was like, no, let's just have them stay outside. Give us the number. We'll go ahead and call your parents or whoever you want us to call, but just wait outside. And then the wife was like, no, let them come in. It's too cold. And so they, said, yeah, you have to allow us to come in. And then so they, I don't know if the lady thought, oh, these are extremely nice and pleasant kids. They have to, they're saying, they have to be allowed to come in the house, which was kind of odd. And so they let them come in the house. So as they came in the house, then the husband is asking them for their information. a car pulls up, and one gentleman steps out, and then they say, "Oh, our parents are here." And then the other guy gets out. These are two guys, and they were very tall, and so they run out of the house, and they're like, "Okay, that was odd," like what the hell? And they have these cats. They couldn't locate their cats after this event. They later found their cats dead. The husband ends up coming down with cancer, like a really bad case of skin cancer. And they were like, "Oh, it's like, you were in the sun like for the longest time, like all this skin cancer that it's never just popped up randomly. It was just weird. It was odd. It wasn't normal per his doctors and from what they were seeing. And he ended up later dying of cancer because of that. So those are some of the stories of the black-eyed kids. But I have an odd personal story that I think ties into maybe a black-eyed kid story, maybe not. I'll let you guys decide. Okay, here's the scenario. I'm at work one day. I get a call from my neighbor across the street. I live on a block where everyone is probably 50 or 60 and over. Always watching the neighborhood. Everybody's pleasant and awesome. He says to me, "Hey, I just had something odd happen at your home. Is everything okay?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm at work. My wife's at work. Like, what's going on? The kids are at school. What's happening, right?" He says, "There was a guy who was at your door and he was knocking, but it got really loud. So I opened up the window and I see him banging on your door. And on my door, I had a little like window that you can open with a latch and look, it's bigger than it's like a little mini door. So it's not like a peephole, but you can actually open it up. It has like a little cage to it. And if you hit the door really hard, it will make a sound. When you hit it, it will echo throughout the neighborhood. And so this guy, he says, I look over, it's a white gentleman. He has a suit on and he's banging on your door. I'm like, okay, that's odd. So he says, I don't want to get into your business or anything. Do you owe somebody something, or somebody coming to repo a car or whatever else? I'm like, no, what are you talking about, right? He says, well, the damnedest thing is that, so he banged on your door a couple times and he went to your garage area, then he jumped over the fence. I was like, what? And he's like, but he has like a suit on. So that kind of threw him off to where he's like, so he picks up his little wireless, phone, not cell phone. And he's about to call 911. And then as he's ready to call 911, the guy appears from the other side of the fence. And then he just walks off. I'm like, okay, that's odd. Maybe it was somebody just going through the neighborhood, knocking on doors and asking questions or whatever, some kind of service. And he's like, well, I thought that too, but nope, he just walked off, kept going and never looked back, never approached any other door. And I watched him the whole time and he left the neighborhood. I was like, okay, that's odd. So I was like, interesting. I said, well, you know what? I'm going to stay home the next day and, just to see what's happening, right? So I stay home the next day and I'm on my computer and my computer is like right by the door. At that time, I'm like no firearm person. I'm like, no, I have like samurai swords because I'm into, Japanese art and Japanese samurai swords and stuff like that. And all my swords are locked up. Like you cannot see them there. I have like, at the time I had like a big safe that was in my closet area. So they're in a safe. So they're not exposed to the kids and all that stuff, right? So I was like, okay, let me take this sword out and I'll put it by my computer, right? So I'm sitting at my desk and I think I was playing like World of Warcraft or something. For all you World of Warcraft fans out there, haven't had to get off. I got too into that. But anyways, so I'm sitting there playing the game. Wife goes to work, kids go to school. It's about 8:30 in the morning. I'm sitting at the computer. I forget all about these people coming to the door. Now I'm like, oh, okay, I'm about to play World of Warcraft, day off of work, you know, and I forget even why I stayed home or anything, right? So I'm sitting there, I'm in deep in the video game on the PC. The loudest banging sound in history, which scared the shit out of me. Like I jumped up. Instead of jumping up or just jumping, I jumped. This person hit the door so hard that I thought this person was gonna come through the door. And instead of me looking out the window or opening the little latch or even just not doing anything, I snatched the door open because I was so pissed. I was like, what the F? And I snatched the door open. And as I snatched the door open, there's this guy standing in front of me with the blankest look on his face. He was a white guy. He looked like a meth head. He had sores all over his face. All of his teeth were rotten. He had a hoodie on. And I'm like, what are you doing banging on my door? I'm like, what the hell? Because I was screaming. I was pissed, right? And then he said calmly,
I'm here for John.
I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, John sent me. I'm like, dude, what are you talking about? There's no John that lives here. What the fuck are you banging on my door like that for? Like, there's no John that lives here. Leave my property is what my actual words were. And I'm pissed. I'm hot. And he just stands there. He says, where's John? I'm like, dude, I just told you there's no John that lives here. Get the hell off my property and leave. There is no John that lives here. So again, I'm hot. I'm pissed. Again, I'm not no skinny dude, or anything like that. I can take care of myself. I look like I can take care of myself. At least I believe that I do, and have. So I'm irate. This guy is probably 110 pounds soaking wet. And you're not really, technically you never want to be in that situation where you have someone that close to you. And because one, you never know what a person has. And two, I was just so pissed that I pulled the door open because, it was like not even like a cop situation. It was like this person was coming through the house, and it pretty much more scared the shit out of me. And that's why I snatched the door open. And he just kept repeating the same thing. So there's another guy. So I looked past him, and on my area is a stoop that's like 3 steps, and they're pretty wide. And this guy is on the first stoop. So he's like probably no more than 1.5 feet from me. And there's another guy. He's on the bike. He's facing the street, but looking down the street, right? He never turns and looks at me. And he has a hoodie on also. And this guy looks a little bigger, and he's on a bike. And so I'm telling the dude, I'm like, dude, step the hell back and get off my property is what I'm telling this guy, right? And again, I have a samurai sword, which is sheath, meaning it's in its sheath. And it's on the computer. You cannot see it at all. I don't have the door even like fully open. The door is just like halfway open, right? You cannot see it at whatsoever. The guy on the bike is just looking straight ahead. And he says in the deepest fucking voice, and I'm not even joking when I tell you this. I'm not joking. And again, this is me going back and forth with this other dude who keeps repeating John sent him. He needs to talk to John and all this other shit. The dude on the bike says,
"What the fuck is your problem?"
It was deep. Not that electronically deep, but it was deep as that.
He said it to you or to the other guy?
No, he said it to me. He never looks at me.
Oh my gosh.
He never looks at me. The thing that freaked me the fuck out, he says,
"What are you gonna do? All you have is a samurai sword."
When he said that,
God.
I shut the door. I slammed the door shut. Instead of grabbing the damn samurai sword again, which was not in no view whatsoever, I grabbed my cell phone, started calling 911. So I called 911. As I called 911, I snatched the door back open. Nobody is in front of the house. So I'm kind of like on the corner house. So I'm calling 911, and it's actually not even a cell phone. It was a wireless phone. So as I'm calling 911, 911's like, "What's your emergency?" And I'm telling you, "Oh, there's two guys, that are in front of my house, whatever." And this, that, and so I'm explaining to her like what's happening as I'm now running down the street to like see where they're going, getting a better description, all this shit. And these dudes, when I get to the corner to where you can only go left or right, there's nobody there. There's nobody. She's like, "Okay, there's a police car in your area, whatever. They should be there in like 2 or 3 minutes." They were probably there within like 5 minutes. And then so as a guy pulls up, he's like, "Which way they go?" I was like, "They went this way." And then they, searched the whole area. There was like 2 cop cars, no guys to be found whatsoever. It was the most freakiest shit ever. But anyways, that is my story. Amy, what is yours?
Well, that was a good one for sure. Well, my creepy story is based off an urban legend, and it's actually one of my very favorites. The story is called The Babysitter and the Man Upstairs. It's a pretty famous story. There is a movie about that called When a Stranger Calls. This came out in, I think it was like 1978. I think, we've chatted briefly about this movie, and I think the opening sequence of Scream, right, is inspired. Is that what you said, Carolyn? Is inspired? Yeah.
Scream is inspired.
Yeah. So, okay, so this is the story. I think this story always creeps me out, but I really love this story. So basically, what happens is a married couple, they were going out for the evening, and they called in Linda, a teenage babysitter, to watch their 3 children. So she comes over, and they tell her they're not going to be out too late, and the children are already in bed, so she doesn't really have to do too much. So Linda starts doing her homework, and after a while, the phone rings. And so keep in mind, this is, I believe the story came out in the 1970s, so this was before cell phones. So the house phone rings, and she answers the telephone just in case it's the parents calling her. But when she answers, there is complete silence, and the other person hangs up. So she goes back to her homework, and then after a few more minutes, the phone rings again. So this time, a man with a chilling voice says,
Have you checked on the children?
He hangs up, and Linda initially thought that it could have been the father calling to check on the children, and perhaps maybe he just got disconnected. So she was a little bit uneasy, but decided it's probably nothing. So after a few more minutes, the phone rings again. She picks up the phone, and the same creepy voice says,
Have you checked the children?
And he hangs up again. So Linda calls the restaurant where the parents said they would be dining at. So when she asks for Mr. Murphy, she is told that he and his wife left the restaurant 45 minutes earlier. So Linda's a little bit nervous now, and she calls the police, and then she tells them that a stranger has been calling her and hanging up all night. And the dispatcher asks if the caller said anything threatening, and Linda said, no, not really. And so the dispatcher says, well, there's nothing we can do about it, and, why don't you try to call the phone company and report that you have a prank caller? So she hangs up, and then after a few more minutes, the phone rings again, and the same man asks,
Why haven't you checked the children?
And he hangs up. She calls 911, and she tells them that she is terrified and she thinks this man who's been calling her is watching. So they ask for the street address and tell her the next time he calls, try to keep him on the phone for a few more minutes and they will try to trace the call. So she turns off the lights and waits. And finally, the phone call comes through and his familiar, creepy voice says,
Why did you turn down the lights?
So she tells him, look, you've scared me. Does that make you happy now? What do you want? Why do you keep calling me? And the caller says,
Your blood all over me.
She slams the phone down and it immediately rings. She picks it up and she screams at him to leave her alone. Except this time, it's not the man. It is the 911 dispatcher who says, Linda, we have traced that call. It is coming from inside the house. Get out of the house right now. So Linda runs for the front door and, you know, like in the movie, she's fidgeting with the lock, can't hardly open the door. And while she's doing that, she looks upstairs and she sees a man's silhouette standing at the children's bedroom door. So she manages to undo the lock and she runs outside and into a cop. So the police finally go inside and they capture this intruder. And when they capture him and bring him out, he is completely covered with the children's blood. So, yeah, and that is the end of the story. So he was in the house the whole time. He had killed the children and was calling her from another phone in the house, just watching her secretly all night long. And so, yeah, that gives me chills all the time. And I know that story has creeped out many a babysitter.
I've heard that story before, but I always thought the babysitter died and the children were okay. Like, I've heard it in the reverse, I thought. So that's interesting.
Oh, yeah. There could be another story like that too, where it is the babysitter. But yeah, this one is what the movie is based on. And I want to do more research, so it could be. I thought I saw somewhere that it is inspired by like the murder of an actual babysitter, but I'm not sure.
It's called the babysitter murder. I think it is. It's a true story.
Okay, yeah. So maybe this came out of that true story. But can you imagine, especially back then, before cell phones and all that stuff, and just having this call nonstop. You're just alone in some house and it's just, nonstop with somebody who apparently is just watching you all night long. Yeah, it's absolutely terrifying. But that is one of...
He knew what she was doing because he was in the house.
No, just... I think there was even like a sequel to that movie called When a Stranger Calls Back, and I actually really liked that one too. It was,
You're into those, Amy.
Oh, I love these stories. No, this one, it was the same thing. The guy kept knocking on the front door, and he wouldn't leave her alone. And then I think later on, she came to find out he was a ventriloquist. And he was inside the house, but he was later on throwing his voice to make it sound like he was standing outside the front door. Meanwhile, he was in the house the whole time, just watching her. Yeah. So that one came out in the 19...
That's The Stranger Calls Back?
Yeah, that's the sequel. Yeah, this one, he first knocks on the door and she could see him outside. And then he says, I need help. My car is broken down. She's like, no, I've called. She's like, oh, I called somebody to come help you. They're on their way. But when she actually tried to call for help, the phone was disconnected. But of course, she can't tell the guy that the phone's been disconnected because he's creeping her out. Right. So he comes and knocks again, you told me you called somebody. That was like 30 minutes ago. Nobody's come. Can I just come in and use your phone, please? She's like, no, let me call again. So she goes and pretends to do another phone call, and it's super creepy. Yeah, if you like the classic When a Stranger Calls, I highly recommend watching that sequel. It's a good one, but it's an interesting twist with the ventriloquist.
Yeah, we have to do a what would you do for us put in those situations.
Yeah.
But
yeah, so that was mine.
Yeah, that's a good creepy story. That is, man, a lot of babysitters to this day have been creeped out by stories like that.
No, for sure. I think things are easier now with the cell phones. You know, there's no somebody coming along disconnecting cutting the line.
Cutting your line.
To your house. So, yeah.
So that was our creepy story segment for the Halloween special. All right, we'll be back with something else that's going to be very creepy.
Attention, brave souls tuning in on this haunted night. Thank you for joining us in the shadows. Hungry for more chills? Find us on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Podbean, or wherever you enjoy your podcasts. If you have a spine-tingling story to share, call 916-741-3032 or email us at strangedarknessradio@gmail.com. Remember, in our world, every whisper tells a story. Stay scared and keep listening.
All right, we are back. Now it's time to get into phobias. So for this Halloween special, we're talking about our personal phobias that we have. So you guys, do you have any crazy phobias or things that are, creepy, or are they more gorish, or what? Who wants to go first about their phobia?
Carolyn, you go ahead. Oh, me?
You want me to go first?
Yeah, go ahead, Carolyn.
Yeah.
We're so polite.
I know we are. I'll let you go.
Well, I have a really stupid one, but
let's hear it.
When I was a kid, my mom bought me this really, really creepy, disgusting Pinocchio doll. I was like 4, and it was made of wood, and it had a really creepy face, and it was just disgusting, and I hated it. And
wait, why did she buy that ugly thing? Was she trying to scare you first? Okay, that's funny though.
Well, maybe it wasn't actually that creepy, but it creeped me out. And I had a dream. I was literally like 4 or 5 years old, and I had a dream that this Pinocchio doll murdered my family with an axe. And then it was like dancing around a fire with the axe. And then in my dream, I was standing in a building looking at him like from the second story, and like a horror movie, he just suddenly stops and like slowly turns around and looks at me, and then like comes running with his axe, and I just knew I was gonna die.
Wow.
And it terrified me. And so ever since then, I've had this phobia of Pinocchio. But the funny part is, I tried to get rid of that doll so many times. I would like throw it in the trash or throw it over the neighbor's fence and just try to get rid of it. And every single time, either my mom or the neighbor or whoever would find it and bring it back. And so I literally thought that this doll was like walking back home and like coming to murder me. Like, I was so scared of it.
Wow.
They thought you were just playing with it and leaving it places, so they kept giving it back to you.
They kept bringing it back. Yeah. And
that's
so
hilarious.
What age were you?
Yeah, and I'm still. So that was when I was like 5 or 4 or 5. But another funny thing is, when I was in my early 20s, I had another nightmare. And in my dream, me and my mom were arguing, and it was like dark, and it was just this really creepy dream. And suddenly my mom, like, we started really getting into an argument, and we were almost about to fight. And then my mom turned into the Pinocchio doll and started trying to strangle me.
Wow.
Oh my gosh. That's
so
crazy.
I'm still, yeah.
Was it like a used Pinocchio doll? Like maybe there was some bad energy? No?
Well, actually, maybe. I mean, now I almost kind of wish I still had it because it was a creepy doll. Like,
So, I mean, do you have that issue to this day when you see a Pinocchio doll?
I'm still scared. Yes, I will not watch Pinocchio. I'm scared of like puppets and marionettes. Yeah, it's ridiculous.
That's interesting.
And so when you do your Ouija board segment, we have to see if some entity can present itself as Pinocchio to you.
No.
That will be the sign whether or not you're actually making contact and you're actually pulling something from the void. So you start
spelling out Pinocchio.
Yeah, or you'll see. Yeah, exactly. Or I don't know. Maybe there's something to that. That's interesting.
That is interesting. So you've never seen Pinocchio then?
No, I have. When I was like a little child, I've seen the cartoon.
It didn't terrify you?
Yeah.
No, I will not watch the live action. Hell no.
That's funny.
I could see how that would creep someone out, though. Yeah, it could definitely be turned into a creepy thing, some little wooden doll. Yeah.
I wish I could show you guys what it looked like, because even if I never had a nightmare, it was a genuinely creepy looking doll. Like, I feel like it would creep anybody out. But
interesting.
That's my phobia.
Yeah. Okay, well, I'll go next, only because I don't know if I truly have a phobia per se. But I do have an aversion to the sight of repetitive patterns or clusters, and it's called triphobia, which I didn't even know was a term. I have talked to other people, and when I tell them that, they're like, oh yeah, you know what, that freaks me out too, or that, that's kind of creepy. It makes me itch. It just weirds me out. I don't know how to explain it. You know it too then, as far as that feeling.
I don't think I'm scared of it. Like, I don't think I have that ick or phobia like some people, but I do know it's really common.
Yeah.
I had a coworker who, like, anytime I would actually kind of tease her, I would just, like, show her pictures on the internet. You know how they'll have like fake pictures of people with like skin diseases.
Yeah,
and,
exactly.
Like a bunch of holes.
That's how I saw
not.
it. Yeah. It's kind of described like a honeycomb. It's the best description. A cluster of circles, and sometimes the circles can be oblong shaped.
Octagon.
Yeah, like a slit of an eye sometimes, or even though it's in the honeycomb pattern and not just circles, just clear cut circles. Sometimes the patterns can be, weird. But yeah, you will see that on some random thing that pops up on your search engine, and it just shows it on someone's back or arm in this cluster, and it's just totally freakish. And I didn't even know there was a term for it. I just know, like, I was having, I wouldn't say nightmares per se, because and I found this out as an adult, but it just freaked me out, and I started having these weird dreams, about this freaking, skin growth on these people with this shape. I'm like, damn, what the hell? And then I was doing something. I was like, you know what? Let me look that up. And when I looked it up, that's what it was called.
I feel like anyone would be grossed out by those, because the ones that they show when you look that up are the most extreme ones possible, and they're so disgusting. I think like anyone looking that up, looking at those extreme images, would just be grossed out by that.
Yeah.
Wait, so Bobby, if you look at like a picture of a beehive, like the inside of a beehive, or like, when you go to the beach and you'll see like a cluster of clams. Sure. Does that bother you?
No, not at all. The honeycombs don't bother me. Never have at all. But once I saw it on the skin, as they, made this on the skin, after that, then the beehives would, I would start picturing, that image of what I saw. And it's totally freakish. And for whatever reason, now it clicks in my mind. It puts those two images together, or just that cluster. And it's really freakish. It's a trip. So yeah, if you guys haven't seen it, check it out. Look it up. It's triphobia. Yeah. And I don't know. Yeah. And then I might have a thing with heights. I I'm not sure, because I'm not in any high places too often. But I know when I went to Vegas, that has a ride on the very top. And so that freaked me out a little bit. And it has the glass base to where you can actually look over. It's kind of like you're walking in the sky.
Hell no.
And so so that was kind of creepy. I was with a group of friends and they were like, hey, let's go ride on this ride. I'm like, hell no, I'm not getting on there. They had everybody clowning me in the line like, oh, you're just scared. You're not gonna, you don't want to go up. You can't take it. You blah, blah. I was like, oh shit. So now I'm calling my manhood into question. Exactly, which sucked. And so I went on this ride and it was freaking terrible. It launches you like up. It's one of those
is that the one that goes right to the edge of the building and it's like you're gonna fall off? It's like a roller coaster, but it just stops.
Yeah,
right? Like right at the edge.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I could not go on that thing. That thing looks so scary.
Yeah,
that's in San Francisco, you said, or are you talking
Las Vegas?
Seattle?
Vegas.
Oh, Las Vegas. Oh, okay. Yeah. I don't think I've been on.
Do you know which ride we're talking about though? There's like pictures of it online.
What's it called? I forgot.
And
it's
literally at the top of this tall like building or structure or whatever it is, and it just stops. Like you're stopped, like looking down, like you're gonna fall off the building. It is so scary.
Yeah, I don't think I could do that one either. But very good to know that Bobby succumbs to peer pressure that easily.
Wow.
All you gotta do is pull
shots.
up the man card stuff, and he'll go against whatever phobia he has just to prove a point.
Okay, as I have never succumbed. It's called the high roller coaster.
Yeah, that thing
high roller coaster.
So scary.
Something like that.
Oh my god. Even just talking about it, my hands are getting sweaty.
Yeah. But just for the record, Amy, no, I don't succumb to peer pressure very easily. So it was just a set of circumstances that I was like, okay, I'm going to go ahead and take the Pepsi
What set
challenge.
of circumstances? You did it, didn't you?
It was.
Yeah, you got teased and you did it. So
I've been teased about a lot of stuff. Whether or not I would actually do those particular things have yet to surface. So that's all I'm saying. But it was just a set of circumstances that played out, and it was terrifying. I wouldn't do it. I don't think I would ever do it again.
Yeah.
But it was exhilarating and fun at the time. It says a person who's never been on a motorcycle yet would never do it, but I ride a motorcycle all the time.
Well, yeah, that's true. I do not like motorcycles. No,
Wait, why not?
They're terrifying. Yeah. I mean, it just takes one little blip in the road and you're
flying.
That's so dangerous.
Accident.
Yeah, no motorcycles
I've
for me.
been riding a motorcycle ever since I was probably 13.
And then I also heard this horrible, back in the day, I used to do like traffic accidents for the highway patrol. And there was this one really sad story about this motorcyclist. So he got into an accident in the middle of the road and he was trying to crawl off the roadway. Yeah. But he did not make it in time. Other cars came and ran him over as he was trying to crawl off the road and he passed away.
Yeah, that happened.
It was like the saddest report I ever read. So I'm like, no motorcycles for me.
Sorry about the motorcycle talk people in this Halloween episode, but
Happy Halloween.
So Amy, it's time for your phobia. What is your phobia?
Well, I know that I've mentioned my phobia before, but I don't think I explained how I developed that phobia. So I have a really bad phobia with frogs. I do not think they're cute. They're so disgusting. I have like so many in my backyard in the summertime, and I will not go into my backyard in the summertime. But basically what happened was, I mean, I didn't like frogs before that, but it was
so
after...
you never liked Kermit?
What's that?
You never liked Kermit? Kermit the Frog?
No. Well, I mean, I wasn't disgusted by him, but yeah, I didn't really like him.
Wow.
He's not very cute.
Kermit and Mrs. Piggy, they're like hallmarks.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I wouldn't have picked Kermit, but so basically what happened was I do like a lot of gardening in my backyard, and so don't ask me why. Instead of having flip-flops sitting out on my back porch, I had clogs. So and you guys know clogs, right? The front is covered, you stick your feet in and it's just
Lots
covered.
Of people garden in clogs. that's normal.
Yeah, that's normal, but I don't think you should necessarily leave them outside all the time.
Oh yeah,
because you could
have
get
a
like
black
widows
Yeah.
and stuff like that, and I wasn't really thinking about it. But so basically I left them outside all the time, and one day I put them on and I was like walking around. I'm like, oh, my shoe feels so weird. Like, is there like I'm like, is there something in here? And so I took it off and I shook it and nothing came out. And then I'm like, let me just give it one more big whack on the cement. So I banged it on the cement, and then a frog fell out. It's like, oh my God.
Was it squished? Did you squish it in your shoe?
You kill it?
I mean, I don't care.
Wow.
He was in my shoe and I felt him. It was the most disgusting thing ever to know that I was walking around with a shoe, with a frog squished by my foot.
Literally stepping on that poor stuff.
That's cold-blooded, man. That frog did nothing to you, looking for shelter.
What? He should not be living in my shoe. He had plenty of other places to live. Why was he in my shoe? But yeah, I was so disgusted and I screamed but ever since, I threw those shoes away. Yeah, instead of washing them or disinfecting them, I just threw the shoes away, and I only have like flip-flops in my backyard now. But I do not like frogs. They're absolutely disgusting. Sometimes they'll come onto my my patio door, and they'll just like sit there, in the summertime.
They're stalking you?
Yeah, they'll just like sit
They
there.
want revenge.
Yeah.
That is funny.
You killed their friend.
So yeah, no, I'm not a fan of them. No.
So what if there was a prince who was a frog and you had to kiss it? Would you kiss the frog?
Would you do it?
And I knew that it was the frog was gonna turn into my prince.
Could be, but there's like 10 frogs. You don't know which one it is, or if it will actually turn.
Nope, not doing it.
So you're not kissing any frogs.
I'll find my prince the old-fashioned way.
Dang, cold-blooded.
Yeah, not kissing frogs.
And so you've always had this phobia, or is this something that you developed, because of the feet?
Yeah, no, I pretty much, I've never liked frogs. I don't like reptiles in general, but that really seals the deal for me.
You seem like a snake girl. Like you would.
Snakes. No, I don't like those either. I've had a few snakes in my backyard.
Wow, are you doing witchcraft? Like, what's up with the frogs and snakes reptiles?
I think I just have like it's like a good environment for reptiles in my backyard. I don't know, it's weird, but it could have been like all the construction that they were doing. I don't think I get as many as I used to, so maybe they've kind of all died off, or
I wonder if this is some type of past life thing to where you were a witch or something doing witchcraft with toads and reptiles, or maybe you had a LSD trip, you were licking frogs in some other life.
You mean now? No,
not now. In some other life,
back in the day. I don't know, but
because there's a lot of reasons why phobias happen, that we could have past life regression. We do past life regressions that it would bring up why you have these phobias and why we're afraid of certain
She told us why.
things.
It's because she stepped on a frog in her shoe.
No. She said she's always had this, right? Before the feet thing,
I think it was just a normal aversion to reptiles. Like, I think
that
a lot of
frog?
people just...
It's a...
People love frogs.
Yeah, I've never...
Who?
Really
you guys like frogs?
They're fine.
They're so disgusting.
I like frogs.
Like, I wouldn't trip out if I saw a frog. No, not at all. Like, if I saw a snake, I'm wondering, is it poisonous? There's reason for it. There's reasons for that, but I'm not tripping off seeing a frog or a tadpole or whatever else. You'd probably freak out.
Well, yeah, that's funny.
Gross.
That happened to my sister too. She said she was driving her kids to school. She drove them the whole way to school, and then came back, and she's like, "Oh, I felt something in my shoe the whole time," and then she shook it out, and there's a frog in her shoe the entire way.
That could be some kind of family curse or something about frogs. What are the odds?
I know, it's funny. We both had frogs stuck in our shoes. That is weird, isn't it?
Yeah, that's not normal. What are the
that
odds?
happening?
I know. So yeah, I don't. Yeah, so that's another reason why I don't like frogs. They're just sneaky, living in people's shoes.
That is too funny. Wow. All right. Well, so that's the only phobia you have, Amy. Are you sure about that? You don't have anything with feet? You don't have a.
Would you stop? No, I don't have any feet phobia.
Hey, you walk barefoot. You walk barefoot a lot, so I'm just asking these questions.
No, I don't. Where do you get
Amy
that
likes
from?
feet.
You obviously were barefoot when you put your foot into that shoe, correct?
What does that have to do with?
Usually you're barefoot.
Phobia?
Put your shoes on.
Yeah,
Bobby.
I know. Yeah, you're just like making stuff up now, Bobby.
Because it has underlying tones.
Yeah,
you know what I'm talking about.
I know. Yeah. We won't get into that, but anyways, no, I do not have. I can't think of any other major phobias. Like, there's normal phobias. But I don't think. I think the frog one is probably my most extreme one.
Yeah. I probably have a couple more. I just can't think of right off the top of my head. I always have to. I know. And again, I'm pretty sure everyone does this going to bed. They triple check their locks and everything else. In the home. It's
yeah. Growing up,
OCD.
I used to have a ritual of I would look under my bed, I would look in the closet, and then I'd look behind the curtains, and it was a whole ritual. Every single night I would do that. I did that as an adult for a little bit too, but not so much anymore.
Wait, and Bobby, do you always triple check your locks like every night?
Always.
Or you can't go to bed? Really?
Yeah, even though I know I did my little sweep, I'll still do it again. Yes.
Sounds like a tick.
Yeah, it could be. Hey, I'm safety first. Safety first.
Doesn't hurt to check.
Says the woman who left and then came back into her room and all the clothes were thrown on the ground.
That was a ghost, so I don't think locking my door would have done anything.
So now you finally know you've had a paranormal incident. Is that what you're saying? You're now.
I mean, I don't know. It could have been the wind. It could have been a mouse.
A wind in your home. A mouse. Wow, that's a strong ass mouse. Mighty Mouse throwing clothes all around your room.
Are you sure you didn't do it and just forget about it?
That could have been it too.
That is very possible.
Wow.
But no, I don't think so, because I remember coming home and thinking that was really weird. So I don't think it was me. Interesting.
Who knows? All right, well, that is the G-rated of phobias. that's very
family friendly.
Yeah, exactly. But we'll have more for you guys in a little bit. Going to go ahead and take a break, and we'll be right back. It's Halloween time, so we are going to step through the Slasher's Gauntlet, and we have a caller. On tonight's show, we have Kyler calling in. Thanks, Kyler, for calling in. How's it going tonight, man?
Yeah, man, it's not going too bad, man. Out here enjoying this almost good weather.
Oh, hopefully it's not too hot out there. You are calling because you've heard our post and saw our post and wanted to play the Slasher's Gauntlet. So, let's get into it. So here we go. Here's the intro.
The clock strikes midnight, and a malevolent force rips through the fabric of reality. From the depths of cinematic nightmares, they emerge, not as flickering images, but as flesh, blood, and insatiable hunger. The air grows thick with the stench of decay as Michael Myers' rotting mask materializes in your hallway. Crystal Lake's putrid waters seep under your door, heralding Jason Voorhees' arrival. And as your eyelids grow heavy, Freddy Krueger's razor-sharp claws scrape at the edges of your consciousness, eager to flay your very essence. Tonight, we plunge into the darkest recesses of human terror. If these abominations were to crawl from the screen, their inhuman eyes fixed upon you, how long would your screams echo before they were silenced forever? Could you outrun the relentless pursuit of death incarnate? Or would your blood be just another splash of color in their grotesque masterpiece? Brace yourselves, wretched souls, for a descent into madness where survival means embracing the monster within. We'll explore the depraved acts and soul-shattering decisions that might keep your heart beating for a few more agonizing moments. But remember, in this twisted game, your suffering is their sustenance, and your fear is the sweetest ambrosia. Fortify your sanity, check the shadows for glinting blades, and pray to whatever gods might listen. Because tonight, on Strange Darkness Radio, the line between viewer and victim disappears, and you're about to become the star of your own slaughter. Tick, tock.
Okay, Kyler. So here's how it goes. You're going to be asked questions. You have 15 seconds to answer these questions. As you will hear, what's that?
Oh no, I was saying 15 seconds.
Okay, yeah, 15 seconds. If you don't, you will be, you will get one slash, which is basically, whether it's Freddy, whether it's Michael Myers, whether it's Jason. And if you get 3, you're dead and you do not make it through the game. So you have to answer those questions before the 15 seconds elapse to move on to the next question. All right? That's how the game is played. Here we go.
Michael Myers. 1. You're being stalked by Michael Myers in your own home. Which room would you barricade yourself in? And how would you fortify it against his inhuman strength?
I have to go with the back room. Well, in our house, be the back room.
What would you put up against the door?
Oh man, probably a couple dressers. Oh.
You didn't. That's one. That's one. Okay, we're not out of the woods yet, but you're not out of the woods yet. So here we go.
2. You're trapped in a small town with Michael Myers on Halloween night. How would you blend in with the costumed crowd to avoid his deadly attention?
I dress as a zombie, right there with the crowd.
Okay, nice. All right. Nice, I like that one. Okay, here we go.
3. If you discovered you were related to Michael Myers, how would you use that family connection to your advantage in surviving his onslaught?
See, I tell him I was a sibling who was always nice to him. I always cared about him.
Nice. I love that.
That's about it.
That definitely probably would stun him, buy you some time. All right? Okay, now it's time for the man himself. Here we go.
Jason Voorhees. 1. Jason Voorhees is lurking beneath the surface of a lake you must cross. What unconventional method would you use to distract or incapacitate him long enough to reach the other side?
I say if he's in the water, then I'll try to use a stun rod or something's going to shock it down there.
Oh, nice. Okay. I love it. All right. Here we go.
2. If you had to sacrifice one of your 5 senses to become immune to Jason Voorhees' attacks, which would you choose and why?
Smell. Okay. Because at least with that I can still, see, taste, and hear and see everything else.
Nice. Great answers.
3. If you could take Jason's seemingly supernatural endurance, how would you use it to outlast the other killers?
Yeah, that's tough, because Freddy really couldn't outlast me. So really, Michael, I could just take him one-on-one if I was Jason and then disappear. But Freddy, you really kind of have to outlast him so you can get rid of his physical body. Dream realm.
Oh, okay. Maybe, I'll give you that. So you got that one. Okay. All right, so you only had the one. Okay, here we go.
Freddy Krueger. 1. If you found yourself trapped in a boiler room with Freddy Krueger, what everyday object would you weaponize to fend him off?
Fire or heated metal.
Heated metal? Okay, go with that.
Yeah.
All right, you don't think you would burn yourself with that one?
If I can burn him, I know you have to worry me. I know he's worried about fire. So
yeah,
really, if I, plus if I'm asleep, if I burn myself, I can probably wake up too.
Nice. That is very true. I like that one. Okay, here we go.
2. Freddy Krueger has invaded your dreams. What personal fear or trauma would you confront to gain power over him in the dream world?
That's tough because if I do that, I mean, usually I'd be more afraid of myself or everything being for nothing. So I'd have to confront myself.
Okay.
It sounds kind of like a cop out, but it's
No,
like,
but
honestly, that's really one of my biggest.
No, seriously.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. Just based upon your, that sometimes that's what they say is really, Freddy is yourself. You're confronting, your own demons and all that. So yeah, I like that. Okay, here we go.
3. If you could steal Freddy's ability to manipulate dreams, how would you use it to turn the tables on him or the other killers?
So as far as Freddy, I just basically rewind him to not existing anymore. Jason, I can just trap him under the lake in his dream, and Michael, I can pretty much trap him back in his childhood and get rid of him that way.
Okay, I say you made it. I say you made it out. Okay.
Oh yeah, thank you.
Oh yeah, no, wait a minute. There's a final question. Here we go.
Oh yeah, here we go.
The last question in this twisted reality. In a twisted turn of events, you must ensure one of these killers survives to stop an even greater evil. Which one would you choose? And how would you protect them while saving yourself?
I'd say I'd have to keep Freddy. I'd save Freddy so he can survive and take that thing out while I hopefully escape out of there. While he's doing that, I could leave the opposite direction.
All right. Well, you made it through. Nice.
Oh yeah.
So,
thank you. Yeah, Freddy, Freddy, my favorite. He's one of my favorites. Well, I had to. Yeah, that's one of my go-to horror movies. There.
Oh, okay. Caller, thanks for playing, and hopefully you'll hear it on Strange Darkness Radio. We'll be right back.
Slasher's Gauntlet. Surviving cinema's deadliest killers.
Hey, welcome to the show, Thomas. This is Bobby from Strange Darkness Radio. How's it going tonight?
Thank you. Good. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic, man. Hey, thank you for calling in and playing the Slasher's Gauntlet.
Yeah, I'm excited.
So this is going to be interesting. Let's see if you can survive. When it gets to the questions, once we give you the instructions, which our Mr. Blackthorn will do, you will have 15 seconds to answer each question. If you do not answer that question in time, you will be hacked. You will be sliced. And if you get 3 slices, the game is over.
It's over.
So you have to try to answer the questions within 15 seconds and don't get 3. You can get 1, you can get 2, but don't get 3.
How much can you, how much of an answer can you give? Is it supposed to be like 1 sentence, 2 sentences?
You can give whatever
word?
you need to give to answer the question. To be sufficient, but you'll get the gist of it once you get rolling with the questions. But it is timely because again, these are killers. You are, your life is on the line. You have to answer in a split second, just like you have to react in a split second. People yelling at the screen, talking about do this and do that. So we're gonna put you to the test. Okay, here we go.
Michael Myers. 1. You're being stalked by Michael Myers in your own home. Which room would you barricade yourself in? And how would you fortify it against his inhuman strength?
I would be in the garage and go up in the attic and disengage the ladder.
Nice. All right, you survived. Here we go.
2. You're trapped in a small town with Michael Myers on Halloween night. How would you blend in with the costumed crowd to avoid his deadly attention?
I would rub dirt on myself and try to jump in a ditch.
That was a good one. Haven't heard that one yet. Here we go.
3. If you discovered you were related to Michael Myers, how would you use that family connection to your advantage in surviving his onslaught?
I would join him.
Dang, you would just become a killer. Ooh, nice one. That was definitely original. Here we go. Time for the man himself.
Jason Voorhees.
Oof.
1. Jason Voorhees is lurking beneath the surface of a lake you must cross. What unconventional method would you use to distract or incapacitate him long enough to reach the other side?
I would try to skip rocks.
I don't think that's going to help.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
something.
he got you on that one. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, that's one. All right, here we go.
2. If you had to sacrifice one of your 5 senses to become immune to Jason Voorhees' attacks, which would you choose, and why?
I would say touch, because by the time he gets to me, then it's over. It's game over.
Okay, that's cool. So you wouldn't feel what's actually about to happen, or may not happen, but yeah.
Right, yeah.
Okay, here we go.
3. If you could take Jason's seemingly supernatural endurance, how would you use it to outlast the other killers?
I don't know. I kind of missed that question too, like right at the beginning.
Oh, did you? Okay.
Just
well,
the very beginning. Yeah.
Okay. You took a slash on that, but I'm going to
Yes.
go ahead and play the question for you again.
Okay.
Just so you can.
But I got 2 slashes.
Yes.
Right?
But you have 2
Okay.
slashes.
Third question.
Okay. Here we go.
3. If you could take Jason's seemingly supernatural endurance, how would you use it to outlast the other killers?
So if you can take his supernatural abilities,
Mm-hmm.
how would you use that to fight against the other killers?
Yeah, I'm not a Michael Myers. I don't know about Michael Myers.
Okay. Got it.
But I've never watched Halloween really, but I'm gonna assume that because Jason can just be underwater forever,
Yes.
that pretty much beats Mike. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
And then just as long as you don't fall asleep, then you got Freddy.
They probably don't sleep. They probably don't sleep anyways, the killers. All right, here
Right.
we go. Now it's time for Mr. Krueger. Hang on.
Right.
Freddy Krueger. 1. If you found yourself trapped in a boiler room with Freddy Krueger, what everyday object would you weaponize to fend him off?
Hopefully I could find a shovel somewhere so I can throw fire, like coals and fire and whatever it is at him. Maybe that might do something.
Yeah, he fire is one of his things. He was actually burned. That was
Right.
killed him.
Yes.
The families got together and put his body in an incinerator, I believe.
And so right.
All right, here we go.
2. Freddy Krueger has invaded your dreams. What personal fear or trauma would you confront to gain power over him in the dream world?
I'm dead.
You're dead. Was it this
I'm
3?
dead.
This 3?
Yeah, this is 3.
Thanks for playing.
Disclaimer. This segment explores dark and twisted questions, delving into unsettling topics and thought-provoking scenarios. Listener
Discretion is advised.
This content is intended for mature audiences.
Welcome to the Dark Twisted Questions segment of Strange Darkness Radio with Amy Tideman. Amy dives deep into the recesses of the human psyche, unearthing the unspeakable and challenging the very foundation. What choices will you make? These questions are twisted and broken, meant to test the core of your being if answered honestly.
How would you answer these mind-bending conundrums of our Twisted Creepy Questions segment?
Are you being truthful? Amy's mission is to illuminate your soul and to challenge the human experience, revealing disturbing insights into ourselves. Play along and ask yourself, how would you respond? Join Amy and our host for a chilling exploration of the macabre. Dare to confront the darkness. and The Twisted, only on Strange Darkness Radio, After Dark. Let's begin.
Well, hello everybody. Welcome back to the Twisted Question segment. This is just a time for the three of us to kind of just have some fun with some creepy, sometimes goofy questions. So I'm looking forward to doing this again with you guys. It's been a while.
Happy Halloween.
Yes, definitely.
Happy Halloween. But okie dokie. Are you guys ready to begin?
Yes, we are.
Yes.
Is that the Saw voice?
No, but it's the evil Halloween voice.
All right. Well, everyone, that's Bobby, in case you were wondering who that was.
Yes.
All right. Let's get started with the segment. So, first question. Would you rather drink a cup of period blood or a cup of semen?
Oh my God. Oh, Jesus
Right out the
Christ. Dang.
Starting off with a bang.
Wow.
I want someone else to answer first.
Bobby. You go first.
Well,
Bobby.
dang. Wow.
This is a great question.
That is not a good question, I guess. Dang. When I said ramp it up, she ramped it up. Jesus.
He didn't like my other questions.
No, there were two PG-13. She went totally
I went
opposite.
rated R, I guess.
Yes. I'm glad we have a disclaimer for this episode. I mean, this segment. But I'm going to have to choose. Dang, that is rough.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man.
This must be especially hard for Bobby.
Yes, because I think you're kind of, well, I guess both of them.
God.
You could get something from both of them. So
What do you mean get something? How do you get something from, you don't get
well, you
anything.
said you're a germaphobe, right?
Yes. Oh, you mean, wow. Out of control.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to go with question one. I can't even say it, but
the period blood?
Yes.
So, but why would you go with period blood though?
Explain, please.
Because, are you guys serious right now? You guys are crazy.
The listeners are interested.
Wow, I really don't think they are. But just because a friend had told me a very interesting story that there is belief that somehow, some way, that in that what you just said, which I cannot say, but that you can actually, you can actually see the universe in a woman's cycle.
You can't say the words period blood? Okay. Oh my God, Bobby, your coworkers are gonna give you a bunch
dang, did you really
crap.
just, oh my gosh, she is throwing shade. She's throwing grenades and launching tubes.
Oh my God.
I wasn't expecting Bobby to get so deep with that.
But yeah, so that's why I would pick that over that. Well, that's not really why, but we know why. But anyways.
I had no choice.
You've thought about this before.
No, not at all.
Okay.
What are you guys' answers? Which is probably not that hard.
I'm choosing semen.
As she giggles. Okay, Amy. Or Carolyn.
Well, yeah, I'm
Doesn't
just
matter.
laughing because you said it's not that hard, but
It's not.
probably not that hard of a answer for Carolyn.
Exactly. That was probably.
I just answered. Did you guys hear me?
No, what'd you say?
Yeah, we heard you.
I don't want to say it again. That's gross.
What did you say? I did not hear you.
The semen?
I
Cup
said
of semen?
semen.
She said
okay.
cup of semen.
Oh, okay, yeah. Okay, that's unfortunate. I'm like, fortunately or unfortunately, not that. It's something that probably occurred before. Let's just put it that way.
Right.
Not a cup.
That's why I'm
Not a
saying
cup.
it's probably not that difficult.
So
I'm gonna need you to clip that out.
So you basically designed this
My
question
parents listen to the
specifically to attack me with that question. Dang, that was a secret missile.
No, because some people look. One could be easier to drink than the other one.
I'm sure you all have never been privy to that situation.
Should we move on to the next one?
There goes Amy cracking the whip. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Go
Okay.
ahead.
All right. Next question. Would you rather eat a small piece of poop or pop the zits on someone's hairy butt cheek with your mouth and swallow the pus?
Oh my God. These aren't even good, like, turnarounds, like picking one a good one over the other. They're both like horrific.
There cannot be like one obvious good one, because then we're just going to pick the obvious good one. They both have to be difficult.
Dang. Go ahead, Carolyn. Your turn to go first. She looks in dismay. Welcome to Strange Darkness Radio.
I'm going with the poop.
Really?
Wow.
The other one was just too gross.
Oh,
Which
man.
part?
No, I can't
Which part
do
was
The
gross
whole
about
thing. The whole thing.
I can't do the poop. I cannot do
Wait,
it.
whose poop do we have to eat?
It doesn't matter. Does it matter? Doesn't matter.
Yeah, like if
Jeez.
it's your own poop, you'll eat it, but if it's somebody else,
Exactly.
you're not gonna eat it.
It's like, well, I had a roast beef last night, so I know that's not going to be
You
too
had
bad.
what? Oh,
No,
you
no,
know
I'm
you had for
saying
dinner?
like,
He said he knew. Did
Bobby,
you say
did what?
no, I'm saying Carolyn said it like, she's like, I had roast beef last night, so I know mine's poop is not too bad, so therefore
Yeah, exactly.
I'm going with that. No, I'm good.
Well, no, then it's not your own piece of poop. It's somebody else's poop.
No,
Does that change your answer?
I have to go zit diving for me.
Yeah,
what
I'm
about
with
you?
you on that. I would pop someone's zit and swallow the pus because that you probably don't even
She
like
said
taste
the smell
pus.
alone, Carolyn. Think about it. Let the aroma
the
enter your
taste,
mind.
I'm sure.
Yes.
It's opposed to like a small piece of pus. Like you're probably
Exactly.
not even
You're
really
not
gonna
gonna
taste anything.
Yeah, taste or smell.
She almost. Oh my God! She just dry heaved
But
everyone.
yeah, but the turd in your hand is gonna be live action. Just FYI. Live
Pus
action.
grosses me out. Like I'm actually
Really?
gagging right now. Yeah, like I
mean, but
can't.
don't
I
you,
don't
like-
want to even think about it.
But don't you like ever pop like your own zit? Does that
And eat
gross-
it? No.
Well, no, not
She
eat it, but
said
like,
eat it.
do you pop like a zit? Does that gross you out?
Thinking about it grosses me out. Yeah. Ooh.
That's too funny.
No, it's the eating it. Well, it's the whole thing. Ugh.
Mm.
Oh, and the hairy butt cheek probably doesn't help too.
That does not help. No.
Yeah.
No, couldn't
Those
couldn't
are
do.
really, really hard questions, Amy.
Exactly, man.
Okay, well, good. That's good. All right, so Bobby and I would both pop the zits on someone's hairy butt cheek, swallow the pus, and Carolyn's going to eat a piece of poop. So, all right.
Good luck with that. Good luck with that.
Okay, next question. Would you rather cut off your hand or shove someone off a cliff and not get into trouble?
Ooh. See, she said not get into trouble. I like how you did that. But
Wait, can you say it again? I'm sorry.
Where's that whip? Where's that whip, Bobby?
Get it together, Carolyn. Get it together.
I'm listening.
All right. Would you rather cut off your own hand or shove someone off a cliff but not get into
Get
trouble?
away with it. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with. Damn, I would hate to lose a hand. But I'll probably go with the hand. I couldn't murder someone even though I'm going to get away with it. So I'm going with the hand.
Yeah.
That's a really, really tough one.
What if it's not considered murder?
How do you figure that?
Like it's someone dying anyway, and you just push them off a cliff.
No.
Like, what if it was just okay to do that?
What? In what universe do you live?
I don't know.
Wow.
So you would rather lose a hand, though?
No, I don't want to, but I'm not going to murder someone.
Murder, 'cause then that's
well, I'm not going to kill someone. I'm not having that on my jacket. They would have to have done something to me.
I'm not calling it murder. Yeah, we are not condoning murder people. So maybe just I don't know. Just
We're just killing. We're not murdering.
Amy, it's just fun. These are not real.
Yeah.
Lisa, I don't know. I don't know. I might have to look into your background.
Should we play the disclaimer again right now, Bobby?
Exactly. We might need to.
All right. Bobby would sacrifice his hand. Carolyn, what would you do?
I am so sorry, but I think I would push someone off a cliff.
Wow.
Yeah. Me too, Carolyn. I am not losing my hand. Like,
you guys watch your back.
Plenty of people
Watch your
that
back.
I have met who deserve to be pushed off a cliff.
Wow, dang. She's looking for somebody to push off.
Oh.
I thought Amy was
wow.
gonna say there's plenty of people, but I only have 2 hands.
Oh, well, that too. We are overpopulated, so.
Wow, she's doing a service
Yeah,
for the
population control.
federal government. Nice.
Yeah.
Good job.
Okay. All right. And here's another disclaimer, people. This is not a sexual question, okay?
Okay.
All right.
This already sounds creepy.
Well, I had to put that in there because, oh my God. All right.
Okay.
So, would you lick a dog's butt clean after it pooped for $20,000? Yes or no?
I'm going to have to emphatically say hail to the no.
Okay.
Think of all the new audio equipment you could buy for the podcast, for your studio, and
Not going to happen.
new motorcycle.
Mm-mm.
All right.
20,000. I don't know if that's worth it or not.
She's all
There's
debating.
more.
I like how she's debating.
really
though.
thinking about this.
Dang.
Like, okay, fine, let's bump it up. Like $30,000.
50,000?
Yeah, 50. We go 50, I guess.
For $50,000, and what dog is it? Like whose dog?
She said,
Not
what
your
dog?
It is not your
It's
dog.
like, what is it? You're feeding it Alpo or the food
Some
is
dog from the shelter.
like, wow.
Shelter dog?
Yeah, that hasn't been bathed for a while.
Dang. I don't think it would matter one way or the other.
Well, I don't know. Like she said, if it's your own dog, it's probably a little bit better.
Just only a little
my
bit.
God.
Yeah, just a little bit, not much.
But I do love the sexual disclaimer on the dog question. But the beginning question had no sexual disclaimer or anything.
Well, that's because but you turned it into that.
How did I turn that into that? That's what do you mean? That's funny. That's hilarious. But go ahead.
Okay, so Carolyn would probably
I'm gonna have to say no.
And that's
for 50.
with you talking about
Even for
50,
50.
up in the ante. Wow.
All right, so you, Bobby, what if it
No,
was 50?
not 50, not 20, not 100. 1,000. I'm good.
Oh, not for 100?
Hell no.
Oh.
What about 1 million?
Oh yeah, 1
What
million.
about 5 million?
You'd do it for 1 million.
I would.
I think you'd do it for
Really
like
thinking,
500 G's. You would do that.
500,000.
Yeah.
$50 million.
$50 million, yes.
Yeah.
Not.
I think everyone would do that for 50
See,
million,
everyone
right?
has a price.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know.
Oh, really, Carolyn? You were just debating $50,000,
You would do
and now you're saying you wouldn't do it for
$500,000
$50
for
million.
sure.
Okay.
The money
Okay.
would be nice, but I don't know if I could sacrifice my
Well, your tongue?
morals.
What's the moral
My
part
tongue.
other than the tongue?
Yeah, it's not like a sexual thing. It's like cleaning the dog's butt clean because it
I mean,
needed
I guess
cleaning.
dogs do it to each other, right?
Oh, that's true. They do it to themselves too, actually.
Yeah,
That's
true.
disgusting. But again, like I said, I would not be doing it.
For 20,000.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely not for 20,000.
Yeah. Oh, I'm with you too on that one. I wouldn't do it either for 20,000.
Would you do it for 50 million?
Heck yeah, I'd do that.
She would do it for
50,000.
50,000.
I don't care. I'll lick a couple dogs' butts for that.
Amy would do it for 50,000.
50,000. Yeah, I don't. Probably not. But
She's like, I can buy a brand new car.
I'd have to strongly think about it and see the dog and see what it was eating, that kind of stuff.
Wow.
But probably I would not do that. I don't. That's disgusting. But yeah. Okay, so none of us would do it for $20,000. Okay.
No. That's
All
funny.
right.
These are wild
see.
questions, by the way.
Okay. Would you rather feel the squirming sensation of parasitic worms burrowing deep into your body all the time, or have your tongue violently ripped from your mouth?
Shit. Whew. That's
I think
rough.
the worms. Because if you get your tongue ripped out, you can't talk ever again.
Yeah, you can't talk ever again.
That's
and plus
true.
it
But
could
can
be,
you imagine feeling worms?
Yeah, that would be
all
disgusting.
the time till the end of time.
Like in your skin, or
Yeah,
like in
just
your
crawling in your organs.
Yeah,
and,
your skin and your organs and behind your eyes, everywhere.
You know what? I don't need to talk. I can do something else.
Yeah, because I feel like
I don't think I
the
can.
tongue.
I think I would probably kill myself with that, happening day in and day out. That feeling.
Yeah, because how would you enjoy anything with that feeling? I mean, the tongue thing, that would suck too, because you can't talk ever. But that's a tough one.
That's true. People live without their tongues all the time.
They
right?
do. Like
Or
you
they
could do
used to.
sign language and.
Yeah, I would have
you know-
Benson talking for me all the time. So.
Oh, that's true. You could still do your
yeah.
podcast.
Yeah, because now we could just use like phones to communicate and stuff like that. So
Text.
that's a little bit easier, a little bit compared to before cell phones and all that technology. Yeah, I would pick the tongue, although that would suck to have it violently ripped out. But I guess it's
like,
one and done.
Can you surgically take that out, please?
Yeah, no.
Do it nicely.
Yeah, but so Carolyn, what would you pick?
You know what? Maybe I would do the tongue too, because you're right. I don't know if I could live the rest of my life with worms.
Yeah, that would be a tough one, I think. So, all right. So this one is okay. This one sounds familiar maybe to somebody. Would you rather poop on stage in front of thousands of people, or eat a bowl of phlegm and boogers?
Ew.
Damn. She said phlegm and boogers.
Phlegm and boogers.
I'd rather poop on stage. That's not so bad.
Yeah, I'd poop on stage too and call it art.
Yeah. Would you be able to
Avant-garde.
though? Like, would you guys think you'd physically be able to poop in front of thousands of people?
No.
You sat there long enough, maybe. Take a few hours.
If it was a choice and the gun was to my head, I guess I'll make it happen over eating the boogers and phlegm.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, I don't think I could poop in front of thousands of people.
You would eat the boogers.
Yeah, I'm gonna eat
The
phlegm
minute
and booger.
the minute you put that spoon or that straw to your mouth, you will be pooping. Because you will be like, hell no, I'm not sucking this
but
up. Or
not in front of thousands of people though.
I don't know.
Yeah, just by myself.
Because you'd be up
Yeah,
chucking, you'd
that's
be
pretty
throwing up into the bowl and still have
I
to
know.
eat it.
Amy, did
Yeah.
you write these questions?
I did most of them, and some of them are like inspiration from somewhere. But
the internet? Okay.
yeah. But
That's too
most of
funny.
them I wrote.
These are good.
Oh, thanks.
They're dangerous.
Okay, good. Better
Highly
than the
dangerous.
thought-provoking ones I came up with previously, right?
That's
Okay.
creative.
Yeah. All right. Would you rather eat a dead rat or the pubic and armpit hair from someone who hasn't bathed in 6 months?
How do you? Can you even digest hair like that without throwing it up based upon, tickling
if you
your
like chopped
esophagus?
it all up really short, you could probably just like do spoonfuls of it or something.
I'm gonna have to go with the hairs only because there's so much disease in the freaking rat to where that definitely would have to be disgusting.
What if there was no disease in the dead rat?
Then it would be rat char, I guess. I'd skewer it with an open flame.
Yeah, do we have to eat it raw? Can we cook the rat?
Put that mug on a rotisserie.
I don't know. I guess, I guess you could cook it. But then that seems a little too easy though, huh?
What do you mean? Like a get out of jail free card or something? Because you turned it into, rat a la carte.
Yeah, I think I would pick the pubic and armpit hair from someone.
Oh, so you wouldn't go for the
Really?
You wouldn't go for the rat.
I don't think so.
This is raw or cooked?
Okay, if it's raw, I'm gonna pick the pubic hair. If it's cooked, I'll take the cooked rat.
Interesting. Because didn't they used to eat rats back in the day?
I think people eat rats.
Yeah, people still like if you're let's say you're in prison or in a dire situation, like you're marooned on an island, you'll eat a rat.
Like the countries where they're, like North Korea and stuff like that, they'll capture rats and they'll eat them because there's no choice. So, yeah.
Did not know that.
Yeah, very, very true.
I thought they hold a lot of diseases.
Yeah,
that part.
I'm sure, but maybe if you, like we said, just charboiled it and maybe get rid of all of that stuff. I don't know. No. Hey, but if you're starving, you're not thinking about that, right?
Very true.
Okay. True. Did you pick Carolyn?
What's that?
Oh, I would do the rat.
Okay. All right. Last question.
All right.
Would you rather drink a glass of a stranger's pee or get flesh-eating bacteria?
Wow. First of all, regardless of what, I'm drinking whatever's in that thing opposed to flesh-eating bacteria.
Flesh-eating bacteria.
Because that you may not survive it. You won't, that is devastating to your body and to your skin. So yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. See,
but Carolyn said flesh-eating bacteria.
No, I'm with Bobby. I was agreeing with him.
Yeah. Me too. I agree with that one. He's not so bad.
There's almost nothing that's worth getting a flesh-eating bacteria disease.
Exactly.
Yes, I agree with that one. That one is scary.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. But yeah, those were the twisted questions. Hopefully everyone is playing along and debating what they would do as well. But
that first one was a doozy. You should have ended with that first one you started with. You should have ended with that one.
You think
Just
so?
FYI. Oh yeah, that was the worst. Not even a question.
Yeah, it probably was the worst one.
She started with the shocker.
Starting off with a bang.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that was Amy's creepy question segment, or more grotesque and liquid question segment.
Liquid and unsanitary question segment.
Exactly.
As the witching hour draws near, we close this Halloween special of Strange Darkness Radio. Thank you for venturing into the shadows with Bobby Washington, Amy Tiedemann, and Carolyn Gray. Before you go, make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel for more spine-chilling content. Follow us on all your favorite podcast platforms to stay connected with the darkness. Remember, the spirits are always watching, and so are we. Until next time, keep your lanterns lit and your courage high. Happy Halloween.